actually can't quite believe I'm saying this. After a 6-month grueling process, I am officially a solo first home owner. Is that even a title? I don't know if it is. But yeah, guys, I've bought my first house, and this is basically the vlog of the entire process that has gone on over the past 6 months that led to me picking my keys up technically yesterday. This vlog spans a long period of time. I wanted to document the process because I feel like we see a lot of people, especially in the UK, getting the keys. We don't see a lot of people documenting the journey, and my god, what a journey it has been. Originally, my intention was to go like from the start of me looking at houses, but I actually started looking at houses back in the end of summer 2024, and honestly it was just a fucking mess. Like, the video was a mess. So we've cut that and we're keeping it to the property that I've actually bought. So yeah, I picked up my keys yesterday and I am officially a solo homeowner. I can't even say it's like a dream come true because it's something that I just kind of written off and never really thought about, because getting a house in the UK, and I live in a more affordable area, but it's so difficult being self-employed. They want you to jump through a million fucking hoops, which, trust me, I truly have in the past 6 months. So yeah, this really isn't something I'd ever even considered, guys, because it's so hard even with 2 people, let alone 1. However, it did become something that felt quite important to me for my own reasons and my own personal experiences, and I have been incredibly lucky in the past 6 years with the job that I have, and it's meant that with a excellent bit of timing from when I started everything, when I started my online coaching, when I started posting activewear reviews, timing played such a huge and crucial role in it, because I'm not sure if I started now that I would achieve the same thing again. And also a tremendous amount of luck, which I feel like people don't talk about because they think if they admit that they've been lucky, that it takes away from the fact that they have had to put work in. I don't see it that way at all. You can work hard at something and it can be that bit of luck that really helps to push you forward with it. Let's be so fucking for real. I know people who work 50, 60, 70, 100 times harder than I do. They have much harder jobs and they are in a very different position. So let's be so fucking for real. Luck plays a role, okay? However, because of the luck, timing, and yes, work, it's meant that I've been in a position to be able to get my first home on my own, which is something that has become increasingly important to me. Having been in situations where I've been kicked out in the middle of the night, told to get out, and I've experienced living under a roof that is not your own, holding over your head of that someone can do with you. And so I knew getting my own place in my own name, regardless of if I'm with someone, if I'm single, is something that if I'm lucky enough to be in the position to do, I really want to do it, because no one can be kicking me out in the middle of the night. No one can be holding it over my head. No one can be saying, look what I've afforded you. No one can be saying any of that shit to me, because it's my house with my name on it. Maybe this decision has been driven somewhat by a little bit of trauma, but hey, a lot of decisions in life are, whether it's conscious or subconscious. But because I've had those experiences, having my own home that is mine, despite the fact I have a boyfriend, is something that is really, 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 really important to me, and I am quite emotional about it. I also just want to say genuinely, and I'm going to try not to cry in this video because I cried twice yesterday, but I just have to say the biggest fucking thank you to you guys, because me starting YouTube, which was the start of all this, I would not be sat in this car, I would not have the keys to my first home on my own right now if I hadn't have started YouTube. But that came off the back of a time in my life where I was not in a good space at all. I had quite a traumatic experience at university, and off the back of that I basically had to, my life got turned upside down and I had to completely start over. And me being at that rock bottom point, I was like, I've always cared what people think about me, but at that point I was like, I actually don't care anymore. Put it in your little group chats, I don't care. So I started my YouTube channel, which was something that I'd always wanted to start. I used to post singing videos, I used to post hair videos, and what just started as me doing a couple hauls here and there, doing some vlogs, sharing workout tips, turned into what I can only describe as the most supportive, wonderful, caring, kind community. And I felt like a loser just before I started YouTube. I felt like a complete loser. My life was turned on its head. I had to start all over again. I had to go back into student accommodation. I had to make new friends. I was really lacking, you could say, in that wider community. I still had my friends at home, but I I was lacking in that level of community. And so in a weird turn of events, the complete feeling like a loser actually turned into me building this incredible community, and I cannot express enough we're gonna try not to cry, how thankful I am to you guys, because it's not lost on me that buying a house at 26, it's not normal. Like, I know it's not normal, and I don't want anyone to go away from this video feeling bad about themselves, because even as a 26-year-old, I sometimes look at people that are 21 and I'm like, whoa, you're so much further ahead, what the fuck am I doing wrong? The average first time buyer age is about 32, 33, I think, in the UK, so please don't feel like you are behind. It's not lost on me, and I am so grateful for everything that you guys have afforded me over the past 6 years. You guys have played a huge role in getting me to this spot where I can afford to do my own property on my own for my first house, which does mean a lot to me. It only felt right to document the process, and I want to share as much of this going forwards as I possibly can. I'm not moving in yet because, as you're going to see, but there's a lot of work that needs doing. So if you guys want moving vlogs, if you want me to do a whole separate house series, let me know, or if you just want me to incorporate it into my weekly vlogs, because I want to take you guys along the process as much as I possibly can. A random one, but I would also like to say thank you to Mr. Christian Guzman, because without the opportunity that he gave me with Alphalete, you know, he picked me up when I didn't even have really a YouTube following. All those years ago, back in 2020, that company and he himself, they have played a huge role in this as well. I would also like to say thank you to Christian. I would also like to say thank you to my mum and dad. And why am I gonna cry? I feel so weirdly emotional about this, but my mum and dad have been very good parents. They've been very helpful. You know, when I moved back home in 2024, they've let me live with them, which has meant I've been able to save a lot more money over the past few years. I wouldn't have been able to do this without any of those people. So yeah, those are my thank yous over. Sorry, my SD card cut out there, but I think it was for the best because I was starting to get quite choked up. We were having quite the hokey chokey over here. Some people might think it's really dramatic, but for my own personal reasons, this does mean a lot to me, and it's just, I would say a dream come true, like I said, but I can't even really say that because when I was younger, much younger, I would have never even considered. I just assumed that if I'm getting a house, it would have to be with someone because, hello, have you seen the UK housing market? I just want to make it really abundantly clear that it is not lost on me how lucky and how fortunate I've been. Very grateful, and I'm excited to finally be able to share this vlog with you guys, share the news. I genuinely cannot thank you guys enough. You've completely changed my life over the past 6 years, and yeah, really does mean a lot to me. Thank you for playing such a huge role in this milestone in my life, but also just thank you for being the best, kindest community. Even like along the process, I've been sharing like little hiccups I've had on Instagram, and the amount of support and advice that everyone has shown me, I've honestly been quite mind blown by it. It will never not blow my mind. Sometimes I'm like, why do people actually give a fuck? I'm just a girl from Bradford. I don't know why people give a shit. Being able to do this at 26 also means that, you know, my mum and dad get to see me hit this milestone. If you've been here for a while, you'll know I have significantly older parents, especially with my dad. He's turning 80 this year, so it really does mean a lot to me to be able to share this with them and have them with me, because yeah, that's always been a bit of a thing for me, milestones that I'm like nervous that they might not be around for. But anyway, I'm gonna stop and we're gonna go back, we're gonna rewind to September 2025, which was when I actually bought the house. It's been going on for a very long time. Thank you once again. I'm gonna stop talking now because I can't stop getting choked up, but genuinely, thank you so much for changing my life and playing a huge role in this and giving me the best community I could have ever possibly wished for. Back to September 2025. Guys, welcome back. I'm actually going to look at a house, which it's not a show home this time, like it's an actual house that someone actually lives in, and it's a much older house. It's actually a Victorian terraced house, but it's also my first like house viewing where I'm actually looking around a property with an estate agent on my own, so I'm a little bit nervous. But it came on the market last week, and over the weekend I kept looking at it. I mean, first of all, it's like well within my budget, which makes me feel just a lot more at peace. My budget just kept expanding and expanding, and it was kind of stressing me out a little bit, even though it's personal choice. I don't know why it was stressing me out. It was all fully within my control. So it's well within budget. It is obviously an older property. It's very different to anything else I've looked at. I've looked at older properties before, but I've never looked at one where they've actually kept quite a lot of the features. Every single bedroom is like a big double double bedroom, so there's loads of space, and it even has a cellar slash basement, so it's technically 4 floors. But obviously it doesn't look like they've done anything with the cellar slash basement. Like, I don't even know if they'll be able to show me down there. But for like a future project, it's not something I would be bothered about dealing with straight away, but for a future project, that could, first of all, it could add a lot of value to the house. Second of all, that could just be such a fun project to do, to like renovate that sort of thing. Although I'm not really sure, what do you renovate a cellar slash basement into? I do have a really good feeling about this house, so I'm hoping I do like it. And the other good thing about it, obviously being well within budget, is I am actually in a position where if I need to, I can offer over asking. My sister's pregnant. I would really like to be close to my family and older parents. Like, family is obviously really important to me, and I want to be like ideally as close to people as possible. But I am excited to look at this house. It's kind of crazy because I feel like I've gone full circle. Like, I started with like obviously a much smaller budget, and then started looking at like older houses, then I moved on to new builds, then I moved on to, well, new builds that aren't technically new anymore, like someone's already lived in them, new builds, like buying one off plot, and now I'm like back at square one with sort of looking at older houses again. But it's just such good value for money, that house. So I'm hoping that when I look around it, everyone keeps saying that like when you know you know. I hate that because I feel like I'm the sort of person, I could talk myself out of anything. It'd be nice to look around an older house again, because I've not looked at an, like, it's old, like there is like old features, like the flooring downstairs. It looks, I'm gonna ask them today, but it looks like it's the original flooring. When I was showing my dad the pictures, I think my dad wants this house more than I do. He's like, oh my god, that's such good value for money. He's like, whoever lives there, they have got first class taste. I'll probably see you after my house viewing now, because I'm gonna be in a rush. I need to get dressed. Guys, I'm back from the house viewing. I'm back from the gym. I didn't film anything. I'm just keeping my phone like in my eye line in case I get a phone call. I may or may not have immediately left and rang up and made an offer. I did just offer asking, because honestly it's such a good price point for the property. I'm very hopeful. We will see what happens. They basically said that they have a few more viewings booked in, so they said they'll put it forward to the seller, and ultimately it's up to him if he's happy to accept, take it off the market, or if he thinks, actually I want to do the rest of the viewings. Being patient, but they did just ring me back and say that they did put the offer forward to him, and it sounds very positive. He wants to have a think about it, but they did want to see. I've had an offer accepted on a property before, and as soon as my offer was accepted, I had to send over my agreement in principle, proof of funds, solicitors I'd be using, all that sort of information. Obviously this isn't a case of my offer being accepted, but they said that they wanted to see proof of funds and my agreement in principle. The agent sounded very positive. I think it might be that the seller wants to see it because he doesn't want to accept an offer and take it off the market for it to be like a nothing offer that's like completely non-viable. Like, yeah, they've offered asking, but they actually don't have the deposit. Fingers crossed that that is a good sign. So I've just sent that over to the estate agent. But I honestly think, you guys, if this goes through, I'll be very happy. First of all, I think people might be quite shocked because it's very much, like I said, it's an older property with quite a lot of period features, but I love it. And I've always loved like the London Victorian townhouse sort of aesthetic. I went and looked around show homes that were also over 3 floors, but it was like the townhouse sort of vibe, but obviously it was a brand new build, and I have nothing against new builds. I was heavily considering getting one of those. I've heavily considered new builds on multiple occasions, but the amount of space in that house is unbelievable. Like, there is so much more space compared to the other houses that I've looked at. I was gonna end up trying to force like a new build to sort of have like an older aesthetic, if that makes sense. Not like old, but to have that London Victorian townhouse sort of vibe. I was gonna be sort of forcing it in a new build, so we'll see. We will see what happens. I might have to end up going back down the new build road if this doesn't pull through, but if it does, I will honestly be so happy because it's so much more affordable. It's so much closer to home. My dad's getting older, my sister's pregnant. Like, I really just want to be close to family. I do live in a pretty affordable area, but the houses are so small, like really lacking in space. There is no such thing as like a spacious 3-bed in my local area. All of sort of like the 3 beds that I've been looking at, it's 2 bedrooms and an office, and a lot of them really it's 1 like double bedroom, 1 single, and then an office space. So it's definitely got the most space. The money, it is a terrace property, which I know some people don't love, and honestly I was was really pretty set on getting semi-detached, but that thought, since I saw this house at the weekend, has completely left my brain. Like I've mentioned before when I've spoken about houses, it's definitely somewhere where if I needed to stay there for a long period of time, and I think I will, to be honest, because we don't know, because I might not get it yet. I have this habit of like, I will map out what I'm gonna do with the kitchen, what I'm gonna do with the living room, what I'm gonna do with the hallway, what I'm gonna do to the stairs. I map it all out and then nothing comes of it. So let me not get ahead of myself, but I have ideas for things I would like to do, and it's a good amount of money, but the good thing is it's definitely on the more affordable side. But yeah, my brain is already whirring with ideas, but we'll see. I'm feeling very positive. I definitely had a very good feeling about that house. Hi, I've got a missed call from Luke, so I'm just ringing back.
Hi, it's Ria. I'll be through now.
Thank you.
He did briefly mention that he might be open to cancelling the viewings for an increased offer, but I don't know what increase that might be. I didn't know if that would be something you'd want to explore.
Happy to comfortably offer 5 if he wanted to take it off the market, but I wouldn't really want to start going higher than that, really.
If you want me to put that forward, obviously we'd have to hold you. We're not going to hold you to the offer. If he doesn't want to do it, then your offer can revert back. So give it a go. He didn't really indicate, to be fair, but can I ask the question?
All right, okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, that's scary. Should I have done that? Maybe not. Gone 5 above and said, if you accept that, that means you take it off the market. I don't know, I'm a little bit scared. Jesus, I thought you were going to fall then. I've just gotten myself ready for the gym. So wait, it's 9:10. I think I should probably ring the estate agents, but I'm going to give it... Is my phone still on loud? We're going to see what happens there. I've been crying, beefing my eyes out on the way to the gym. Guys, I've got the house. He accepted my slightly higher offer to take it off the market, so I'm now like... shit, there's so much I need to get done. I'm trying to get everything done, but like I don't have my ID with me, so like I can't do the ID checks, and they need like all this sort of stuff from me to take it off the market. So I just feel, I know that some people are going to think this is like crazy spooky dooky hippy dippy bullshit talk. I did have a card reading at the weekend, which she was basically saying to me during my reading, she was like, have you ever felt like you have a spiritual guide? And I was like, sometimes yeah, like I can be a little bit spooky dooky with that sort of stuff. She was like, you know, you do have a spirit guide. She was like, some people have got multiple. She was like, you've only got one. It's a man and he looks really smart and you were the apple of his eye. Like, does that ring a bell sort of thing? I literally immediately got like a massive like lump in my throat because I was like, that's my grampy. That's my grampy that I've got tattooed on me. That's my grandparent that I have like such fond memories with. And this is gonna sound really hippy dippy because obviously like I looked at the house 2 days ago, so like, you know, it's more like proximity to my viewing and me putting the offer in. Well, not even 2 days ago, a day ago. You know, it's nothing to do with, I don't know, I do believe in this sort of stuff. Having that at the weekend, being told that it's my granddad's, well, would have been my granddad's birthday. I was listening to Everglow by Coldplay, which is just like one of my favourite songs relating to grief. Then I got the phone call and it's just made me cry. I feel very emotional about it, but I'm so happy. I'm trying not to get too excited because this has happened before and then things don't go to plan. I want to try and maintain some level of excitement because I did really want this house, and yeah, I'm gonna take the good signs from like what I've just explained, that this is a really good sign and like I'm doing like what I'm meant to be doing, if that makes sense. Sent over, this is like such a weird day now. I feel like my day is just going very differently than what I expected. Sent all my stuff over to, it all happens so fast, guys. It's so scary. I mean, it happens fast and then it happens slow. Like my sister was saying, like you'll do so much today and then you won't hear anything for weeks. So I've done like all my ID checks, proof of funds, had to get an updated agreement in principle. So the guy who did that, like bless him, he literally like tried to ring him, but he was in a meeting and he was like, I can't talk. I was like, right, that's fine. But I was like, shall I ring someone else in the office then? Because I really need an agreement in principle for them to remove this property from the market. And ours is expired. And literally within like 5 minutes, he sent me another one over. So he's really a good egg. Had to instruct my solicitors. It all feels so serious, guys. So my something fee, there was some form of fee that I had to pay. It all feels very serious right now. Guys, I'm coming on here looking an absolute mess. I feel like a lot, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but a lot happened yesterday. My sister said you'll do like a lot for like 2 days and then you just won't hear anything for ages. So yesterday I obviously got the offer accepted, sent over everything to have it taken off the market, my survey booked in because it's an older property, so I'm getting a level 3 survey done on it, so I got that booked in. I've instructed my solicitors, paid for my search packs. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what any of this means, and it's genuinely, I know that everyone says this when they buy a house, it really shocks me how little is explained to you, but you're just expected to understand what things are. Like, I was googling things like, what the hell is, what does this mean? Because when I got my solicitor's fees, as with anyone's, I'm pretty sure, they send you it over in like an itemized list, and I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. What am I paying for here? So I was sat googling stuff for ages yesterday. My next step will be applying for my mortgage, so I need to go back to my mortgage broker. Yeah, everyone yesterday was like, Uncle Toes kept being like, you're not like, I thought you'd be a bit more excited. Obviously, bless him, he brought me flowers and a card last night, but by the time he got here I was just sat in the kitchen crying. I am excited, don't get me wrong, and like, I've been looking at like furniture and what I want to do with like flooring and what I want to do with the kitchen and like getting loads of inspo and stuff, but this has happened to me before and then it's all gone a bit wrong, so don't want to get my hopes up. And with it being an older property, I feel like I'm holding my breath for this level 3 survey because the person that's lived there has lived there since 1999. Yeah. Hello guys, today's the 3rd of October and it's now been just over the 2-week mark since I had my offer accepted on the property. There's a couple updates. I also think at this point it's important to give you an update like 2 weeks into the process, like what money has actually left my bank account, and I'm really aiming to be as transparent as possible with like the solicitor's fees and costs and stuff, because I feel like, especially with my survey, like that was a lot more than I thought it would be. From doing my research, it's actually pretty standard for the level that I needed, but I think it's helpful to have this information because, you know, if you don't have the money to pay for like a level 3 survey, it might mean that when you're going through the house searching process, you go for something that probably isn't going to need a level 3 survey, it might need a level 1 or 2. 18th of August, my offer was accepted. 19th of August, I got in touch with my mortgage advisor to put in my mortgage sort of application and sort of get the ball rolling and send everything over. The estate agents put me in touch with survey companies on the 19th as well. On the 18th, all I had to pay, so this was like my upfront cost, was I think it was £30 or £50, I can't remember which one. Estate agents like ID checks, they basically had a portal where I had to upload everything. I don't know if this is the norm, so that was an initial cost. And then for my solicitors, I had to pay £360 straight away. Searches, I think that's what that money was for. I think it was for the search pack. I had to pay £360 straight away. In 24 hours of the process sort of started, I'd already spent over £400. That brings me into the next week. The surveyors ended up coming back to me with an early cancellation, so they were actually able to do my survey on the 29th, so they did it the Monday just gone, and their policy was just that I had to pay them the day before. So at the weekend I transferred them the money for that, and that was £1,085. Expensive, not all surveys are going to be that expensive, but it's sort of average for a level 3 survey for a property of that age. Came very highly recommended. I checked the Google reviews and so far I've been really impressed with their level of service, but it is obviously expensive. In terms of choice, I didn't really have a choice. Every single company that they put me in touch with said because of the age of the house it needs a level 3 survey. They were all pretty much like £900 to £1,200, so I sort of went with one that was sort of in the middle, but they had really good reviews and lots of them. Prior to that, my mortgage application went in on the 23rd of September, so I sent everything over to the mortgage man and I did pay for my mortgage broker. This is definitely a controversial topic. Some people don't think you need to pay one, some people do think you need to pay one. I would say if you are a normal person with a normal job, with normal income, employed, or even if you're self-employed but it's coming from one stream of income and it's all very simple, you are going to be completely fine going to a free mortgage broker. The reason why I paid someone was because I have used a mixture of paid and free ones before. I've spoken to multiple. I just feel like they seem to understand my situation a little bit more. Diverse range of income, and like, just to be completely honest, my income fluctuates a lot. I just wanted a bit more of like hand holding through the process, and I wanted someone who basically could advise me a little bit more on those things. Had to pay before the application went in, so you pay on application. That's how it worked with the company that I went with. Yeah, that was quite expensive. That was, I believe, £465, so that was a lot of money, but my mortgage offer did get accepted literally yesterday, so went in on the 23rd and it came back on the 2nd of October, so just over a week after. There's no such thing as like what's better, a 2 years fix or a 5 years fix. Me personally, I've gone for a 5-year fix just because I really don't know what's going to happen over the next few years. Political and economic situation, I'm not sure which way it's going to go, especially when it comes round to the next general election. So I just wanted to give myself like that little bit
more time with like a secured rate. To be honest, I'm really happy with my monthly mortgage repayments. I went for a 5-year fixed, and I did also do a 35-year term because my intention is to overpay on my mortgage most months. If I'm in a position where I can do so, I am going to be overpaying on it because obviously you're mainly paying off the interest at the start. For me personally, and for my finances and the fact that I'm doing it on my own, I would rather have a lower amount where if I can't overpay that month, I know I can still pay my mortgage that month, rather than a higher amount which might be closer to what I might end up paying a month, including my overpayments. Say I have a really bad month, or like hopefully it sacked me, or like something goes wrong with work, or like because I'm self-employed I can't work, it's a much slower month, I'm still going to be able to pay that. So that's basically my reasonings for doing that. So we are now just over 2 weeks since having my offer accepted, and that's basically everything that I've done so far and all the costs that I have incurred so far. So I'm just shy, I believe, of £2,000 so far. Obviously I've not paid all my solicitors fees yet. They are much further down the line. You don't really pay the bulk of the fees till further down the line from what I've heard. And then the other update is obviously on Monday I did get a phone call from the surveyor when they left the property. I catastrophised things, so I'd convinced myself they were going to say something like the roof's falling down or it's built on a sinkhole and like it's unmortgageable. I was convinced that was what was going to come back. But yeah, when he came back with the initial findings, I was quite shocked about some of the stuff. There's certain stuff that's just to be expected with an older property, but it is a very well presented house. Most people could happily move in there and not do anything to it. Like, it's not a renovation project house. It's very well presented and it looks very, you know, like it's been kept up with, if that makes sense. There's certain stuff that you're just going to have to accept. Like, it has a cellar, there's damp in the cellar. Of course there's damp in the cellar. There's damp in most cellars, damp in most basements. He was pretty sure it needs a full rewire, so that's expensive and also very destructive and disruptive. But the saving grace with that is I don't need to move in straight away. I can just stay at my mum and dad's till that's done, and if it does come back that it needs a rewire, we can just do that without me living in the property. But obviously there will be a cost for rewiring the house and it's probably going to be very expensive. Then on top of that, there is penetrating damp in the loft room, so he thinks it's like around the roof, and there's also penetrating damp around every single room that has the chimney breast. Basically pretty sure that there is a leak somewhere, so I will also need to get someone to come out and look at that. I'm waiting until I get the report back so that I actually know what I'm looking at. Like, what are the reds? They basically grade it in like red as in like it needs immediate attention, orange as in like you might want to sort this out but it's not like really like high up priority, and then green, which is that's literally fine. Good news is it's structurally sound. There's nothing wrong with the structure of the building, he said, but those are the main things. And obviously if it is a leak, or if there's something wrong with the roof, or if there's something wrong with the chimney breast, that can also be quite expensive. So I definitely wasn't expecting a squeaky clean survey, but I wasn't expecting that, and I definitely wasn't expecting the rewire. Basically I'm in limbo at the moment because I need to wait for that report to come back in full. He said it's very normal stuff for a house of that age. There's also issues with the bay window in the living room, which also has damp above it. He's pretty sure the timber is like rotted, so that basically needs placing because it's letting water in. And he basically summed it up by saying there's substantial and costly work to be done to basically weatherproof that house, but it can be done. You know, it's not like impossible and it's not a write-off, but it will be costly. But basically the process then is that you get people to go out and give you quotes for things that like really need putting right, and then you can show them to the seller, show them to vendor, show them to the estate agents, and hey, like this kind of really needs doing. And it doesn't always work out. Like, some sellers just won't budge on it. I don't know what he's going to say, but in some scenarios they will put things right before you move in, and or they'll get their own quotes, or in some scenarios you will be able to say to them, he's doing, like, if you don't want to do it, that's okay, but can we like meet in the middle in price and like knock some off what I'm paying for the house to cover these costs. And apparently very commonly they won't knock off like 100% of the costs, but you can sometimes get like 50%. We're gonna have to wait and see, because that's definitely costs that I wasn't expecting. And in my scenario, I think it's probably more awkward if you've offered under the asking price anyway. I actually offered over asking price. I went 5 over asking price. I think that's a bit of a saving grace in this scenario, because he was happy with asking price. I just went over to have it taken off the market basically. So yeah, that sort of took the wind out my sails a little bit this week, but still don't have the report yet, so I'm still basically waiting for that. Been a bit more back and forth with the solicitors, just asking me for more stuff for self-employment, like my SA302s and my tax returns, which I'd already asked them if they needed like in week 1, like 2 weeks ago, but they got back to me yesterday and said they do need that stuff. So I've sent that over to them. I've got my mortgage offer. So yeah, 2 weeks in, the survey's done. I've got my mortgage offer. I'm just waiting for my survey to come back. I honestly don't really know what this interim is. is obviously the seller needs to find a house. There's still a lot that could go wrong. We don't know what's going to happen. I've also heard some horror stories from people being like, if the damp is that bad, like you might not even be able to get a mortgage on it. So we're just going to hold our breath and wait and see. But I wanted to give you like sort of like an almost exact 2-week update with my costings, because I think that's really helpful to know what you are getting yourself in for. I would say though, it's not normal to have your survey done this early into the process. I was just very lucky that they had a cancellation, so they put me in earlier. Otherwise it was going to be like middle to end of October. You might not have that cost as quick as I have. In 2 weeks I'm already like just under £2,000 down. I think that's what I find scary about the survey as well, is because if he's not willing to budge, and like if I'm getting quotes and things are going to be really expensive, it might be the case that I have to pull out of the sale and then I can't recoup any of the money that I've spent. The stressful thing in my opinion, I don't understand really how this is legal. I feel like you should be able to get, I know that like people have done the work, like I do get it. There should be, I don't know, I just feel like there has to be a better way of doing this. I've heard good things about the Scottish system. It's scary. Like even if the seller decided today, like I don't want to sell my house anymore, I'm pulling out of this, I would just lose all the money that I've spent. That would be it. Like there's no compensation for it or anything like that, which I think is what's so frustrating about the house buying process in the UK. But yeah, we're only 2 weeks in and this process can go on for like 6 months to a year. So that's my update for now. Thought I would just do a little bit of a check-in.
Guys, it's now February. I believe the last thing that I filmed was back in October, and I think it was when I had my survey results come back. Oh my god. I know that everyone says that the house buying process is stressful. Fuck me, they're not shitting your pants, guys. It's stressful. There's been so many points over the last few months where I have thought, I'm not getting this house. This is not gonna work out. I'm gonna have to pull out of the sale. It has been probably one of the most stressful things ever, which I feel bad for even saying, because I know that so many people would chop my hand off, bite my hand off to swap places with me and be in the position to be buying a house. It is genuinely so stressful, and I feel like because I'm doing it on my own, yeah, I can ask people for advice and help, but like it's literally just up to me. I can imagine it might be a bit easier when there's like 2 of you to do everything, but it's honestly been really stressful and really scary. Like this is a costly process. It's February now, and at this point I will do like a full breakdown of costing. I'm pretty sure the costs I have accrued, I've not paid my solicitors yet, but that's about £1,800 I believe, and the other costs that I have accrued, I will, by the time this goes through, outside of deposit and stuff, I will have spent over £3,000. And especially in those moments where I'm thinking I don't even know if this is going to go through, because the solicitors had done all the work that they needed to have done months ago. They were finished in like December, owed this money anyway whether I ended up getting the house or not. But basically obviously the survey came back with issues. It took me so long to get an electrician in. An electrician did go in at the back end of last year, and they confirmed to me just before Christmas, I think it was about December 10th or something, they confirmed to me that it did indeed need a full rewire. So that was fun, but I got a quote for that, and then I got a full damp survey done. Now the damp survey I actually do regret getting done, because the one area that I really needed to understand why there is damp in that region of the house, which is the attic room, which I'm planning to use as my main bedroom, there's a lot of damp, like it's visible, it's all around the chimney breast. So I assumed with a damp survey they would be able to diagnose that for me, but all they said was, yeah, you've got like definitely severe damp in that area, but we don't know what's causing it because we can't investigate that. Brilliant. That was a bit of a waste of, I think that was about £200. They did actually come up with other things that needed putting right. There was damp elsewhere in the house, and there was quite a significant amount of work that needed to be done, to be completely honest, and it's looking like it's probably going to be around the £10,000 mark, and that is a significant amount of work, especially the electrical rewire. And I have to be so fucking for real when it comes to the rewire. There is a high likelihood that there will be a requirement for some plastering work to be done afterwards as well. I found that out basically all in December. I went back to the seller in December and I said, I've already offered 5 over, I'm coming back to you, I really want the house. I made it really clear that I wanted the house, but I did say I want 10 off asking price, and that was really scary to do. No one warns you about that either. It's really scary to do these things. I felt so anxious even sending the email, even though I know I'm well within my right. It's scary as well because at this point, you know, I've spent all this money and I'm gonna have to pay the solicitors. So at this point I've spent thousands, some of it's just not left my bank account yet, and you really don't want to tee off the seller to the point where they're like, nah, like screw this. And he came back to me and he said he would meet in the middle and he would give me 5 off. I just know that that's not going to be enough to give myself more of a buffer. Something's probably wrong with the chimney breast, and we think that the flashing might actually need replacing. But at this point it had dragged on so
so long. Like, when did I buy this house? August, September. I'm finding it that tradespeople really don't want to go in and do like the diagnostic work. I'm finding it really hard to get people that want to do that. It's literally going to push it back further and further, waiting for a roofer. So he came back and he was like 5 off, and at this point I was thinking I'm going to have to walk away. Like, I actually can't, because I cannot afford to only get 5 off the house. I need more off the house. I took like over Christmas to think about it, and then I went back to him and I said, okay, you can give me 8 off the house, or you can have, you know, X, Y and Z put right, or get someone in to look whatever's going on with the chimney breast and have that put right, in which case I will just pay the price that you are offering back to me. And they came back to me pretty much instantly. Before he was like, no, I need to think about it. This time around he came back to me pretty much instantly and said, we'll settle on the 8 off. So I would manage to get the 8 off, which I'm happy about. What I've learned in this process is you can't get everything that needs fixing in the house off the price of the house, because you are buying a used house, and in this scenario buying an old house. It's a Victorian house. You have to accept certain things, but obviously I couldn't have foreseen a full electrical rewire, and that's costly. And now we're at the point where it's time for me to sign my completion documents. They are aiming for us to be completing this month, either towards the end of February in the next couple of weeks or start of March. Everyone in the chain is pushing for it. I'm at the bottom, obviously, because I'm a first-time buyer and I don't have a house to sell. I live with my mum and dad. There's like obviously a chain above me, but pretty much the chain is complete. Everyone is now pushing for actual completion, and they're aiming for this month or the start of March. And yeah, I've got my solicitor's documents that I need to sign, so we're gonna sign them together, and I'm very, very, very excited. This feels very grown up. Yeah, I'm just really, really, really excited, and I can't believe this is actually happening, because like I said, there's been so many points where I thought this house sale is not going to go through. The scariest, most stressful financial process and situation I have ever been through, but I'm so grateful to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm so excited. We've got the actual contract, so incorporating the standard conditions of sale. We have the land transaction return that I need to sign. We have the mortgage deed that I need to sign, and that's it. So I have these documents signed. They look a little bit scary. They look a little bit serious. I have read them, but I still don't actually quite understand what they actually mean. I feel like I'm signing my life away here. Low-key, I'm not gonna lie. This is really scary. God. I feel like crying. This is really... Guys, we're done. All of my documents are signed, so now I just need to get these to my solicitors. So I'll either post them or drop them off. I don't actually know where my solicitors is because I've not been in. I'm nervous. So today's date is the 11th of Feb, so we will see when I'm next updating this vlog, because it could well be the day that I get the keys. This is crazy. All starting to feel very real, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's starting to feel very real. Okay, I think this will actually probably be my final update to this entire 6-month long process before, and I'll be picking up the keys. So today is Monday. It's the 16th of March. So obviously didn't end up exchanging and completing in February. That was a pipe dream. They confirmed last Monday that everyone in the chain was going to work towards the 19th of March for completion. So I actually exchanged on Friday. That meant I had to do all of my final payments, including my deposit. You pay your deposit with your final solicitor fees. That's how it worked for me anyway. Did all my costings and stuff. So the cost of buying a house for me and my experience, obviously if you don't have to have a level 3 survey, it will be cheaper for you. If you don't have to extra people in to come and check things for you, it will be cheaper for you. But I believe my costings, I'm going to put them on the screen, deposit aside, are £4,025, and I'm hoping, because I've already started editing this vlog, that you guys knowing sort of the timings for when costs can arise. I feel like it's helpful to know the sort of timings, but now 6 months into the process, my final cost of buying a home, £4,025, which is a lot of money, and that could be genuinely the difference between someone being able to afford moving out and not. So I feel like I'm quite shocked that people don't talk about it. Did want to be as transparent as possible about that, because I do think it's helpful. Past week, what a fucking shit show, and I've spoken about this on
Instagram. There's been a lot of red flags, honestly, with my solicitors, which I'm not going to name them because I went to the solicitors that I went to based off 2 recommendations, one from my sister, one from my best friend. So I genuinely feel like a firm in general, not really that helpful of a recommendation because it depends who you're dealing with and how helpful that individual solicitor conveyancer is. And I've not had a good experience with mine at all, to be completely honest. Final straw for me was last Monday. They emailed me to let me know the 19th was locked in and confirmed. Could I confirm that I was okay with that? Then I asked them, like, how does this work with money? Like, when do I need to pay the money? And also, like, how does my lifetime ISA work? Because I have money in there that I want to use towards it. Tell me why. They replied saying there's been 0 correspondence from me about having money in a lifetime ISA. Mind you, like, the first bit of correspondence I had with them was a document I had to fill out that had all my information on it. And there was an entire section on help to buy and lifetime ISAs, which you had to fill out if you had one, detailing who it's with, account number, all the details for it, which I filled out in September 2025. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of fizzing when they turned around to me and they were like, you've never mentioned it, there's been 0 correspondence from you. I just went back to them and I was like, this is what I sent you back in September. They came back to me and then said that it's not a specific ISA section, it was a general ISA section. It literally said help to buy or lifetime ISA at the top of it. Then they were telling me this process can take longer, like it could take weeks for us to be able to access the funds. This can take a long time. There's also an added fee, while like basically insinuating that it could push the date back. But the money that I have in there, I don't want to wait until pension age to use it, so I need to use it for my house. It wasn't even a negotiable for me. I was furious, to be honest, because how do you miss that? I felt like I was being gaslit, honestly. It was just not a good experience at all. The amount of people who have had the exact same experience with their solicitors is terrifying, and there's been multiple instances of this along the way which I've not really filled you in on. I feel like I've really sort of kept it to the pivotal moments for this vlog, otherwise the vlog would have been about 3 hours long, half of which would have been me crying, panicking that I'm not going to get the house. In multiple instances where they've asked me for things, they asked me for all my self-employment stuff, SA 302s, tax returns, bank statements, all that sort of stuff. I'd send it over only to receive an email 3 weeks after saying, hi, like, can you send those documents over? Which was replying to the email that had the documents attached. And I was just reply being like, let me know if I've missed anything, but I did send these over 3 weeks ago. It's attached to the email that you've replied to. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, that's all we need. But I'm like, so what have you been doing for 3 weeks if you thought you didn't have these documents? And that's happened a couple of times. I know it's happened when my mortgage broker has tried to talk to my solicitors as well. When I add it up, there's probably about 8 weeks, so 2 months of time completely wasted on their end. If you want to know, if you're local to me, because I think it is a local firm, you want to know who to avoid, you can message me and I will let you know who to avoid, because I'm not impressed with them at all and it's cost me a lot of money. Last Monday I was obviously really excited and then basically had my hopes, I thought, crashed, because they were basically telling me, now this will probably throw the completion date off, secondly this is all your fault. And how I feel like I know that they know deep down they're in the wrong is they did rush, like they've really rushed this, and they have managed to get the money from Skipton. So my lifetime ISA money got transferred today. On Friday I had to ring my banks to pay the deposit, so I paid the deposit and the solicitor fee on Friday. My lifetime ISA funds got released to them today, so they have those now, and we are aiming for completion on Thursday, and it looks like it's all going to be going ahead. I've never understood when I'd see people on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube vlogs saying that, like, by the time you get the keys it's not the feeling you think it's going to be, because it's such a lengthy process. And I would always feel like that doesn't even make any sense. And it's not that I'm not excited, but now that I'm literally meant to be getting my keys in 3 days, I do understand it, because I'm still, even though we've exchanged contracts now, like, I don't think at this point anything can go wrong. I just feel like something's going to go wrong. And it does, the house buying process in the UK, I do feel like, well, England should I say, I do feel like it really does dull the excitement and joy of buying a house. And regardless, I am still excited, but I do fully understand that feeling. I'm very appreciative of the fact that people have spoken about that, because I was starting to think maybe I've made the wrong decision with the house I've got, because I'm not feeling that, like, oh my god, like uber excitement. I don't have that. I still feel a bit nervous. I still feel a little bit almost flat about things. But because I've seen people talk about that sort of weird feeling, I know it's normal and it's not the house and it's not me. This is a very normal normal feeling. Yeah, guys, what a process. I started looking for a house in I started summer 2024 was when I started viewing. So to be here, March 2026, getting the keys this week, hopefully Thursday, is really exciting. So yeah, this will be my final update before completion date, key collection, showing you guys my house, or at least whatever I'm comfortable with showing you guys in my house. And yeah, I am excited. It just doesn't feel real, because it feels like, and it was weird when I was editing this vlog, I keep saying how it feels like at the start I was doing loads for 3 days straight. I was getting everything booked in, talking to people, sending all my documents over, getting everything sorted, applying for my mortgage. And then over the past 6 months, periods where I've done more, but a lot of it's just silence and you don't really know what's going on. You're not really getting regular updates because it's such a long process. And it really is true. I feel like the key points were around Christmas when I was getting everyone in and trying to renegotiate on price. First few days post buying the house and having my offer accepted. And then Friday, but even Friday felt a bit weird because I was like, I'm just transferring all this money. It was a bit scary and almost felt a bit too easy as well. Those are my final costings in terms of buying the house. We are hopefully going to be completing on Thursday, so I guess I will see you guys on Thursday when we go and pick the keys up for my first home as a solo home buyer. I will see you guys on Thursday. Guys, it's completion day. Vlog this day just like a daily vlog, and we're gonna add it into this vlog. Has obviously been filmed over a very long period of time. I feel like it's somewhat disjointed and it's just a lot of yapping, but it's because I wanted this to not just be a look at me getting a house. I wanted to really try and document the process as much as possible and take you along with me so that it's also helpful. Yeah, I should be getting my keys today. I have no idea how this works. I'm assuming I'm just waiting for a phone call. So when it's currently 25 to 10, I've just been to the gym, got myself a little completion day. I'm just calling everything a completion day treat today. Little completion day iced latte. I can't actually quite believe that this day is here. I'm still crossing my fingers because I feel like something could definitely still go wrong at this point. I think at this point, if something goes wrong, I am owed financial compensation now. I actually can't believe this day is here. Obviously, I've been filming this vlog since September, pretty much bang on. It was the 18th or 19th of September when my offer got accepted. So it's literally bang on 6 months. It's been a very long process, but even prior to that, I started looking for houses in 2024, the back end of the summer, September time. I actually nearly bought somewhere and then I got gazumped, which is basically where you put an offer in, the offer is accepted, and then the seller decides to accept another higher offer, which in my opinion very unethical and should be illegal, quite frankly, because I was literally about to start instructing solicitors. I only lost about 50 quid for an ID check, but that's still £50 lost and wasted. And so I felt very attached to that house. I viewed it twice. It is weird how things work because I was absolutely gutted now that this house came about. That house, for reference, was about 969 square foot. The one I've got is about 1400 square foot, so I've got a lot more space, a shit ton more of space. All the bedrooms are actually proper double bedrooms. The kitchen is bigger, the living room is bigger. I have a proper hallway, I have a utility room, I have a basement that I can convert if I want, and it's cost me about £50,000 less. So I know that if you are in the house buying process right now, it's not what you want to hear, but trust me, I've had shit experiences. Everything does work out for a reason, and I know it's annoying when people say that because I got really irritated with people telling that to me, but it was true because this is actually much better. It's also closer to my mum and dad. Yeah, it's been 6 months in the making for this particular house, but I've been looking since 2024, so I feel a little bit emotional. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I should be too emotional today because I'm not actually moving yet. I'm not moving today. I'm not moving anything in yet. There's a lot of work that needs doing to the house. I need a full electrical rewire for starters. I'm not going to be moving into the house yet, so there's not the emotion of saying goodbye to my mum and dad, even though I'm literally 5 minutes away from them. But I do feel quite emotional about it because this is something that it was starting to feel like it wasn't going to happen. So I do feel very relieved now, and I do feel a lot more excited. I know I spoke the other day about not feeling as excited as I thought I would, but now I do feel excited again. And completion day together, because it would be rude not to, quite frankly, because it's only because of you guys and the tremendous amount of luck and fortunate timing that I've had in the past 6 years that this is now a possibility for me. Like, the concept of being able to buy my own home on my own at 26 years old is just not something that I thought was going to be possible for me, quite frankly, because it's really fucking hard. Like, even though I've done it, it's still been incredibly hard. I feel like, especially being self-employed, I've had to jump through so many fucking hoops. Sorry if I seem a bit like airy fairy. I just feel a bit, I actually can't believe this day is here because it's taken so long. I'm also really enjoying, because it's Thursday today, but I'm not going to be posting about getting my keys or anything until this vlog goes up, because when Willow was born, I didn't actually post about it for about a week and a half. I think it was like 10 days after she was born, for a multitude of reasons. Obviously I wasn't going to post about it being born until my sister had posted it on her own. So my sister had a really traumatic birth, so I wasn't, obviously this sounds awful, I was very excited to have Willow, but it was such a I keep thinking I'm over it. I'm clearly not over it, because I literally can't talk about it without like getting choked up, but I just wasn't in the mood to be like yay, and I didn't want, it sounds awful, but I didn't want people congratulating me on it, because so fucking hippy dippy, but I felt like I wasn't in a space to receive that, because it wasn't how I was feeling. I was full of anxiety and worry, to be completely honest. But also what that taught me, because I've always been someone post things straight away, like as soon as something's done, I like posting it, I like posting in the moment. What that showed me is I actually really got to soak up the moment a lot more, because I wasn't distracted by people obviously being lovely and messaging me and all this sort of stuff. I wasn't distracted by any of that. I was able to just really enjoy that time with my sister and Willow. Yeah, it taught me that actually I prefer to post about something a little bit after it's happened, 9 times out of 10, because it actually allows me to really enjoy it in real life a bit more first. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. No doubt that some people are going to be like, what the fuck have you bought? So I don't really want anyone's negativity to ruin that. In a few days time I'll be ready to let people batten down the hatches, you know? Anyway, we're gonna go, because my nose is now running because I just got choked up. Embarrassing. Guys, I'm just about to drive past my house. I drive past it every day on the way back from the gym to my mum and dad's, and there are 2 giant green vans outside the house. What does it say? Removals and storage. Oh my god. He's getting moved out, y'all. God, guys, it's happening. Scrubbed up somewhat decently, and it's key collection time. That was actually a bit confusing. It's now 1:20, so I didn't get them this morning. They rang me at like 12 to say I'd completed, but the man hadn't moved out yet. And then the solicitors rang me like 20 minutes later saying you've completed, you can go and get your keys. So I was very confused. So then my sister just pretended to be me on the phone, because I was like, I can't do it. Like, I feel like I'm being annoying. She was like, I'll do it for you. God bless. My sister just rang them and she was like, I'm a bit confused. Solicitor saying I can come and get my keys. I was told I couldn't come and get my keys. And they were like, oh, no, you've not completed yet. And then my sister was like, but I was told I'd completed earlier. And then she was like, oh yeah, actually you can come and get your keys. So yeah, I'm gonna go and pick up Twinkle Toes, and then we're gonna go to the estate agents, because that's up in Horsforth. Back home, collect my mum and dad, maybe Willow, Catherine. It's a family affair, and we're all gonna go and look at my house. Oh my god, I feel sick. I'm actually really nervous. Guys, we've got the keys. I feel like my fringe has gone really frizzy today. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that was actually probably the most awkward, underwhelming thing ever. When we went in, I was like, oh my god, there's no one in here, and then I looked to the left and everyone was just sat to the left, and I was like, I'm here to collect some keys. And then she gave me this little bag. It basically just has a Hardesty and Co mug. Where your story begins. Nothing like a classic bit of self-promotion. Go to my keys. Okay, let's go get my mum and dad. Oh, this is... No. Picked up Garth. My mum's going with Willow and Catherine. And it's also his first time in my new car. What do you think?
Well,
is it
easy? I'm getting easier than I did in the other bloody thing.
Are you excited to see my house, Daddy? No?
Interested.
He's interested. Right. We don't know which key it is.
It's that one.
It's not twisted. We've done it. We've opened the door.
Not without that door going all the way back.
No, probably not. Probably not. We're in. Okay, guys.
We need to bring it down and find out.
He's currently assessing if the chair will fit in.
It might.
Oh, wait.
Where would you put it? You put it in here.
I think so. Look at the living room. Whoa. Apparently he's left me a present, guys. Oh, he's left me a little bottle of what? This is my kitchen, by the way. This is my kitchen. He's left me a little present. We've got a nice little bottle of Pinot Grigio. He's also given me instructions for everything. That's got the address on it. But I've got instructions for everything. This is the kitchen, guys. This is the oven. This is the infamous oven. She's a classic. Mummy and Willow and Catherine are here. Willow! Come on, Willow, just not look impressed. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh. The attic, guys. Oh no, it's installation. Yeah, no, you can't use that storage.
Make this into just a chilling out space. I wouldn't want a bedroom up here. I'd much prefer.
But that's just us. And you get a bit of loft space. It looks bad. It looks worse than when I saw it the first time.
Hey, that's wallpaper.
I know, but what's behind it?
Well, no, I know. But is it all wallpaper?
Oh, yeah, it's all wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
If you do want to redecorate up here, you're going to need that stripped off. Yeah, no, I know. I know. I don't know if Dad's going to be able to get up here.
Guys, there was so many people. That was too much. I had my mum, my dad, my niece, and then my niece and nephew, my sister, my niece, Uncle Toes, and it was just a lot. I did film some clips, but I didn't actually properly show you. So this is my living room.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm doing it.
Just like
You'll be spending a lot of time here too.
for the occasion. It's a very acoustic house.
So yeah, this is the living room. She's lovely and spacious. She's big. This is probably the biggest out of any of the living rooms I looked at. I'm trying to be very careful with what I'm showing here, but I have a beautiful bay window, which excites me a lot. And then I have some built-in shelves already here, fireplace, space here. I'm actually thinking, tell me if I'm crazy guys, but I know that I should put my TV probably here. I feel like it's going to ruin that space. I actually am thinking of getting a TV stand and putting it here. But when I look at TV stands, they're all ugly. So if anyone has any solutions for that, let me know. I really love how the colour comes in here. God, when the sun shines, you can see how uneven that wall is. You know how I was talking about earlier, how everyone says when you get your keys, you see things that you didn't see before. I've definitely had that experience, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's good to set expectations about these things, because when people were saying it to me, I was taking it on board, but I was like, surely it's really exciting, and it is, but it is also a little bit like, fuck me. So if you have that feeling, it doesn't mean you've bought the wrong house or you've made a mistake. It just means naturally when there's no furniture in, you notice things that you didn't maybe notice before. Another one of my favourite bits of the house, the stairs. I just think, yeah, beautiful, stunning. Nice high ceilings. I have a utility. This is my kitchen. These are the floorboards all downstairs. They are the original floorboards, and I know that this is blasphemy, but I'm going to cover them up. They're too dark and they're very uneven, and I know that I can strip them and have them restored, but I just feel like, considering I don't love them, it doesn't make sense to me.
Everything has to match it as well.
Yeah, I don't want to rip them up, I just want to try and cover them. Yeah, this is my kitchen. So plans are to basically completely cut the kitchen and redo it. I was actually gonna like knock this all in and put a cooker here, but the more I look at it, I really like it, and I feel like I'll be sad if it goes. It's just this bit that sticks out here because it's obviously taking up space here, and I do want to put an island in. Yeah, he also, wait, I already showed you the bottle of wine earlier. He had like a really beautiful kitchen, don't get me wrong, it's just not my cup of tea, and it's very old. Like, the carcasses are very old. It's a solid wood worktop, which I feel like I never see in kitchens. He's left me a beautiful big Belfast sink, which I'm 100% keeping. I just hate that it's here. I want it to be in front of the window because it looks really dark in here, but I do actually have a massive window. I'm not opening it for obvious reasons. And then this is the current oven. It reminds me of my granny's house. It's so cool. But she's gonna go. If anyone wants an oven, let me know. Absolutely love this like landing space. Obviously very high ceiling's got a lovely banister going on. Do you know what I find really fun about this house? And I found it weird the first time I looked around it, but then I grew to like it. The fact that the walls are all kind of on the wonk. I think it's because the houses are built diagonal. Yeah, this is the room I'm planning to use as my dressing room / office. Obviously the carpet needs to go. I do kind of like this. It's like basically set back into the walls. And I kind of like it, to be honest. Like, if I actually get it built out properly with proper storage, I don't know, I think it's kind of cute. It's a bit different as well. The windows in my house as well, they're all like sash windows. I'm not showing you for obvious reasons, but the windows in my house are like beautiful. It was very scary with my dad earlier though, because he kept trying to open them and I was like, can you?
He didn't try, he did.
Well, I mean, he did open them and then he dropped it. Then we have another. This was the main selling point for me with this house, by the way. I'm really sorry if it's echoey. Was the fact that all of the rooms are big rooms. So I have plenty of room in here. Like, I have no doubt I've got enough room, basically. Maybe bedroom? What do we think? Everyone's saying bedroom, boyfriend's saying bedroom, my mum and sister think bedroom. What do you guys think? This one has the original floorboards, so it will be a case of covering these up. I know that that's a crime. Also, a lot of the walls are wallpapered, so there is going to be a lot of DIYing going on. But don't, please be careful. Then in here, just have some understairs storage, which is really handy. This is my bathroom. So this is my very long, very narrow bathroom. So it is a bit of a weird shape, and I am aware that the big costs and stuff with a bathroom, because I do want to redo it, come from when you start moving things around. So I think I'm going to leave the layout the same, but I'm thinking, walk with me here, guys. Walk with me, humour me. I'm thinking, I mean, it will be a very narrow shower, but it can be done. Like a sort of wet room style shower here. That will have to be moved to the back wall, because obviously that can't stay there. But at least then I get to save where the sink goes. I mean, ultimately I would want to completely redo it, but I think I need to be, you know, aware of the fact that there are a lot of things that I'm starting to add up in my head now that I really do need to do. Even just like stripping the walls back, they'll probably need replastering. So that's expensive. So I need to factor all of that in. So yeah, it might be a case of like not doing a full rip out of the bathroom, just sort of changing certain things. These aren't tiles. I know that everyone's going to be like, you can't ruin that bathroom floor. They're not tiles, guys. It's a cheap, well, I don't know if it was cheap, but just like a vinyl bottom sink, which my mum really likes, this sink. Then if we go up here, we can go up to the third bedroom. These are very steep and there's no handrail, so I need to get that sorted out, because I came, you'll have seen earlier, my mum, sister and Willow were up here, and when my sister was trying to get back down, obviously Willow was asleep, so she was holding her and she was like, I was looking at her and I was thinking, oh my god, we're stuck, like we can't get her down, because my sister, I mean, it's a sheer, it's a very sheer drop, not gonna lie, so I need to get a handrail immediately. I mean, eventually I actually just want to redo these stairs, because even for me, I would rather them come a little bit further over personally and have less of a steepness to them. I have older family members, like my niece, like the thought of it is just giving me the heebie-jeebies. This is something that I definitely want to do, but it's not an immediate. Handrail is immediate, however. Massive room. This is the damp. We won't talk about that. We already knew that was there. I really like this. I mean, yeah, it's literally like it's part of the house. Cute. There's a tiny little door there that has like, there's like storage behind here, but I daren't even entertain going through there because I'm scared there's going to be a rat or a mouse in there, and let's be honest, there probably is. Skylight window here, so it gets nice and bright. And then yeah, he's left me a little rug, which is really cute. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of space up here. That's pretty much it for the rooms. I mean, I do have a cellar as well, which I can show you guys. I'll show you the utility room. I don't know if I did. Utility room's a bit boring, but there's also a utility. That used to be a tiny kitchen, and then it was like living room, dining room instead of living room and kitchen. Yeah, these are all like the main rooms. My initial ideas, I'm not going to be moving in for a long time because it needs a full electrical rewire. So I need to get that booked in. That's the first thing, and then from there obviously we can think about things, but I'm also aware of the fact that you do kind of need to live in somewhere to know what you want to do with it. But yeah, full rewire is the first job for the house, but this is my house, and I'm sorry if I seem a bit flat. Also, I'm not being an ungrateful little cowbag, I'm just very overwhelmed. Great how steep those stairs are.
Huh?
Rate how steep those stairs are.
I don't think they're steep enough. You got to think, if you're up here working and burglars get in, they'll look at the staircase and think,
I may as well actually just cover up the stairs and turn it into a fucking slide.
Well, if anyone got up here, they'll look up now and just think, I can't be fucked.
It's such a sheer drop. You need to measure some stuff. If you have been watching my vlogs for a while, you'll know I bought a chair a while ago from Anthropology in the sale. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in the house. I may be selling a boucle Anthropology chair if anyone wants it. I'm really sad about it though because I really like that chair. But if it's going to mean I'm starting to have to like pop windows off and stuff, it's just not worth it. Like I may as well just sell the chair. But yeah, we actually literally came back down just to measure stuff, but also show you guys the house properly because I feel like earlier I was like, I'm going to film it. It's going to be so nice, family. No, it was very...
stuck at the top of the stairs.
My sister got stuck at the top of the stairs. Every 2 minutes something is clattering and we're like, what have you done? And my dad's messing around with stuff.
Do you want to be the first person to have a wee in your house?
Do you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because I really need a piss, but
Yeah.
I thought, I don't just want to do it.
Yeah, don't you dare.
Yeah, but how do you
Oh,
do you
should
want me
really
to have a
change
piss
the
on your
toilet.
toilet
No,
first?
should really change the toilet seat. Completion day is pretty much done. Now 5 to 6, so I've just dropped Twinkle Toes back home and I'm about to go home myself. I might actually pick this vlog back up again tomorrow, maybe. I'm like, should we just keep these vibes going? I don't know. But yeah, today has been such a nice day. I definitely understand, I think I've already explained it, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but I do understand what people say when they say it's a weird feeling and it's maybe not the feeling that you expect. And like I said earlier in the vlog, I'm really glad that people do talk about those things because it stops you from panicking and thinking like, what the fuck have I done, if you don't feel anything other than excitement. Like I spoke to my best friend and she was like, honestly, like I literally cried because I was like, what have I done? But you just you quickly realise, oh, there's a lot to do. But first things first is the electrical rewire that has to get done. I'm not fannying around with like furniture, fucking mirrors, sofas, even like the kitchen. Obviously I want to redo, the bathroom I want to redo, but I'm not even touching that sort of stuff until I've done like fundamental shit like electrics. That all needs doing first. Anything to do with the damp, I'm getting all of that sorted first and then we can do the fun stuff. Can have like a really nice looking house with beautiful furniture, but if the electrics have got like 6 months left on them and the house is just damp, all of that hard work goes to waste because it's all going to get wrecked basically. But yeah, I'm actually really nervous to see what you guys think of the house. Not that it matters because you don't have to live there, only I have to live there, and I generally am very happy with my purchase for a multitude of reasons. The main ones being location, I'm still close to everyone. It looks, I just think visually it has great fucking bones. Like it has great, it needs work, but it has great bones. And space, like space. Light as well. Like I don't know if it looked the lightest in what I've just shown you because it's later in the day, but also all the blinds were closed because I'm trying to private as possible. I was talking about this with a friend the other day, but the fact that people in the age of 2026 still post house announcements stood outside their front door or post the key up close, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Even a house tour is a bit questionable, but I do want to share as much as I can with you guys because, well, as much as I'm comfortable with, because first of all, you guys have been such a massive part of me being able to buy my first home on my own, so it feels right to share it. It felt right to share the process. It feels right to show you bits of my house, but also because it's fucking interesting. I love watching people's home content. I just need to make sure that when I'm doing it, I'm putting like safety and privacy first and foremost, basically. Really intrigued to see what you guys think. If you thought it was the sort of home I was gonna go for. Some people in real life have been quite shocked, not like in a bad way. They're like, it's stunning, but like I did not foresee this for you. I really am happy with it. I feel like I've made a good purchase, and my mum kept saying, she was like, this is a really good buy. My dad kept saying it, and if my dad says it, my dad does not mince his words. If he thought, what the fuck have you bought, he would have said it. And I know that some people think that's a crazy thing parent to say when their kids just bought a house, but my dad would literally say it. He does not give a fuck. He would just say it. So yeah, having my mum, dad, like stamp of approval does mean a lot to me. And I've only cried twice, so that's pretty good. Cried when I was stood in the living room at the end with my mum and sister because I was just like, my mum said that she was, I think my mum actually said she was proud of me, which
which is crazy because I don't know if that's something that my mum says that much. And it just made me a bit emotional, and I was also already emotional because I was like, shit, I actually have so much to do. So I was already feeling a little bit emotionally fragile, some may say. I just felt like an overwhelming sense of, I know it sounds really hippy dippy, but gratitude. I was just like, wow, like this is mine. Only cried twice, that's pretty good going for me. I will either round off this vlog tomorrow or maybe I will have more updates for you tomorrow, but I'm going to give it one more day just to see if anything happens. But yeah.
Hello guys, it's now the next day. I'm back again. Actually going to show Twinkle Toes and his dad around. It's the first time I've come in this house on my own. Yeah, obviously I know yesterday I made it quite clear I was panicking slightly about the amount of work to be done. It is definitely true, like you really do notice more and more stuff. You're coming in and there's no furniture in here and you can really truly see everything. But I woke up this morning and I actually feel a lot more excited about the process of sorting it all out now, which is nice because yesterday I was in a bit of a panic. The person who lived here was definitely a smoker. So if anyone has any tips for getting rid of that smell, I do think a lot of it will go naturally with, you know, stripping the walls, skimming the walls, replastering, painting, whatever it is that we need to do. But if anyone has any like immediate tips, because like I feel a bit like awkward about people coming in here and it just smells like smoke. So if anyone's got any tips for that, let a girl know. But no, I'm feeling a lot more excited today. Get ahead of myself. We need a full electrical rewire first, but I've been on Pinterest, been looking at ideas. This room is so big. Like it's really starting to dawn on me how big this room is. Yeah, I've also been editing this vlog and I just think it's such a nice vlog, so I hope that it's been helpful. I hope that it's been enjoyable for you guys to watch, because yeah, I've really enjoyed going through and editing it for you. So yeah, I'm noticing more and more things. I thought this room was painted. It's actually been wallpapered because you can see here. To-do list, she's adding up. This is my first time in my house on my own. It feels a little scary. I do love it though. I really wish that I could show you guys my house from the outside, because my house from the outside is actually not my favourite thing, but it's one of my favourite things about this house. Beautiful. Like, this house looks so like quintessentially British from the outside. It's a stone house, not a brick house. It just looks stunning from the outside, but for obvious reasons I can't show you guys that, which is kind of frustrating, but safety first. It gives like fairy tale and it's really cute. I also didn't show you my garden yesterday for similar reasons. I'm just not sure about if I should be showing that sort of stuff. I have like basically a little patioed garden. I'm happy with it because I don't need a big garden. I want a dog, but I also live near dog walking areas, so it's really not a problem whatsoever. Pretty sure it's Yorkshire flag paving stones. It looks really nice and I won't need to mow a lawn. Well, I will at the front, but not the back. Oh, I'm a bit nervous to show Twinkle Toes' dad around. I don't know what he's gonna think. Actually just properly looking through all the stuff that the previous owner has left for me. I showed you guys this yesterday, but he did leave me a bottle of wine. He's left me all the papers and loads of notes on how things work. Obviously left me the title deeds. This is like a historical book because I think my house was built in 1880, I want to say, a little history lesson. So these go back donkey's years. Look at this. This is from 1927. This is so sick. This one is from 1908 to secure £50,000 and interest. I want to find, he says it's got the original planning permission. I literally want to cry. I feel like this house has so much history to it. This is also 1927. This is how cool mortgage deeds used to look. This is how cool they used to look. They look fucking boring now. They're all online. 1874, this is it. 1874, this is the original planning permission, I think. Oh my god, my dad's gonna have a field day. I'm gonna have a field day. This is so cool. And to think, I was going to buy a new build. Quite the 180, quite the 1880 if you will. Okay, I'm actually going to round up this video here. Yesterday, obviously, I showed Twinkle Toes Senior around and that was fun. I'm actually going back to my house again today. I'm showing my brother around today, but I don't want to drag this vlog on too long because there really isn't anything. I've shown you guys the house now. There isn't really much else to show you. So I'm going to round off this video here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching and thank you again. Like, I don't want to harp on it too much because I really did do like quite
quite a big intro. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but genuinely thank you so much. You guys have played such a big role in this, and I just feel incredibly grateful, very excited, a bit nervous, a little bit stressed, but I am overall just very grateful and very excited to get started on making the house a home. And it's going to be a long process. Like, I'm not in rush with it, which is a good thing. Obviously I'm still at my mum and dad's house and I don't need to rush it. I also don't want it to take years and years and years, so this will be a long process. If you want me to document it and share it with you guys, then do let me know, because I can do like a full-blown home series. I also know there'll probably be questions that I haven't answered in this video, so if you want me to do like a full-blown Q&A or just include a Q&A in a future house related video, then do let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, thank you for being such a big part of this chapter of my life, this journey, and yeah, thank you for allowing me the blessing and luckiness of being able to achieve this milestone and being able to experience it with my mum and dad, because that really does mean a lot to me. So yeah, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, hype the video, apparently it helps. And if you do want more home content, let me know how you want me to do it. Do you want it included in weekly vlogs, separate series? What do you want to see, or are you just not bothered? Let me know. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. If you are watching this on a Sunday, if you're watching it on another day, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in my next video.